The behavior of a female narcissistic friend can be incredibly insidious, often beginning with seemingly innocent or even nurturing actions. Beneath the surface, however, her gestures are carefully calculated to maintain control over you, subtly eroding your sense of self-worth while positioning herself as the only person who can define your value. What appears as genuine care or affection is, in reality, a manipulative tactic designed to undermine your boundaries, independence, and confidence. This type of relationship creates a toxic dynamic where you feel unworthy and dependent on her approval, all while she portrays herself as your protector or savior. It's crucial to note that while this behavior is often associated with female narcissists, it's not exclusive to them. Male narcissists engage in equally damaging manipulative tactics, but their behaviors are often harder to identify because they are supported by systemic structures, such as misogyny, which normalize and excuse their actions. These systems make it harder for narcissistic behavior in men to be recognized or challenged, as societal norms often validate their manipulations. While one gender is not inherently more manipulative than the other, the broader social context can obscure and amplify certain types of narcissistic behavior. The focus here is on female narcissists because, without the same societal structures that protect and normalize male narcissistic behavior, their manipulation can often be easier to spot and deconstruct. Recognizing and addressing narcissistic behaviors in female narcissists can also help illuminate similar patterns in the often deeply embedded and socially protected behavior of male narcissists. By identifying these dynamics, we can begin to dismantle the broader systemic forces that enable and obscure narcissistic abuse, regardless of gender. Love bombing and boundary blurring. Early on, the narcissist will often love bomb you, rapidly building a false sense of trust and intimacy. This can involve sharing personal stories, confiding in you about her life, or even creating situations where boundaries are blurred. She encourages closeness while denying you the time or space to process what's happening, creating a sense of urgency and emotional overload. This whirlwind connection is designed to create a bond of affection or friendship that makes you feel uniquely chosen and valued. It sets the stage for deeper manipulation, and by making you feel that you're special, she slowly locks you into her world. Subtle undermining and perceptions. As the bond deepens, more subtle and off-putting behaviors begin to emerge. For instance, the narcissist might start to touch your hair or point out perceived flaws in front of others, always under the guise of caring. Imagine being in a group when the narcissist finds something wrong with you, like suggesting you have dandruff, when you don't. This may seem like a small, harmless observation, but it's actually a carefully calculated attack. By pointing out a flaw she's created in front of others, she plants a seed of doubt in their minds about your cleanliness, your self-care, or your appearance. This diminishes your image in the eyes of the group and shifts perceptions in a way that makes you appear less worthy or valuable. The audience manipulation. What makes this behavior especially insidious is how the narcissist uses the audience around you, especially male members of the group, to trap you in these manipulated perceptions. The narcissist knows that societal standards often place an emphasis on physical appearance and cleanliness, particularly in the eyes of men. By making a seemingly innocent comment about your appearance, like the dandruff example, she creates an opportunity to paint you as unattractive, unkempt, or even diseased, in a way that becomes difficult to erase from the minds of those around you. Male attention, even indirectly, plays a critical role in how the narcissist wields her power. She knows that by targeting your image in front of a male audience, the implication is not just about how others see you but also about how they perceive your value relative to hers. She positions herself as superior, more polished, and more in control, casting you as someone to be pitted or avoided. This creates a social hierarchy where she rises while you're left to struggle under the weight of false perceptions. This manipulation isn't just about undermining your self-image, it's about controlling the narrative around you. The narcissist plants a story in the minds of others, especially the men in your group, that paint you as flawed, undeserving, or even unworthy of attention or affection. She reserves the right to save you from these perceived flaws by offering advice or remedies, while ensuring that any support or attention you receive is dependent on her intervention. In this way, she becomes the source of your worth, making it clear that only through her lens do you become valuable. The control play. But the narcissist isn't just trying to make you feel bad in private, she's setting the stage for long-term control. She knows that by isolating you socially and making you the subject of gossip or pity, she's ensuring that your social interactions and relationships are shaped by her influence. The goal is to create an environment where you feel dependent on her approval, guidance, and validation, and where you start to see yourself through the lens she's crafted for you. In her world, you're not allowed to be independent or autonomous, your value comes only from her approval and permission. When you push back or express discomfort, the narcissist flips the situation around, making you feel guilty or ashamed for even setting a boundary. She might react angrily, making you feel as if you're the one being unreasonable or rude. This sudden aggression, often in front of others, ensures that you are left defenseless, unable to explain your side of the story without appearing selfish or mean-spirited. By controlling the narrative, she ensures that you are always on the defensive, and she can dictate the terms of the relationship. Creating a false narrative. Once this dynamic is established, the narcissist works to weave a narrative in which you are always the one who needs fixing, while she remains the sole authority figure who can provide you with value. She might create a false image of you, unkept, socially awkward, or unworthy, and position herself as the person who can fix you, making you feel indebted to her for giving you the tools to become better in her eyes. But the truth is, you were never flawed to begin with. The narcissist's ultimate goal is to make you believe you're worthless without her, that you need her to feel valid, and that you can't exist independently of her. The power dynamic. At the core of this toxic cycle is the narcissist's need to control. In her world, only one person can reign supreme, and she will ensure that it's her. She wants you to bow to her authority, to accept her version of events, and to submit to her narrative. When you don't, she will use every tool in her arsenal, manipulation, humiliation, guilt-tripping, to break you down and force you into a subservient role. For the narcissist, it's not just about making you feel bad. It's about ensuring you stay within her control, limiting your ability to grow, thrive, and exist outside of her influence. When you refuse to submit, you become a threat to her carefully constructed empire, and she will do whatever it takes to strip you of your power, your confidence, and your independence. Reclaiming your value. Breaking free from this cycle requires recognizing the manipulation for what it is. You must reclaim your autonomy and rebuild your sense of self-worth. Your value isn't tied to anyone else's approval or narrative. It's inherent, and it's time to take it back. The key is to understand that narcissistic individuals don't care about your well-being, they care about controlling your perception and ensuring their own dominance. By stepping out of their orbit and refusing to accept their version of reality, you can break the cycle of manipulation and rebuild your life on your terms.